My name's Bronwyn. I'm from a company called mytravelresearch.com, and as the name infers, we do travel and tourism research, and we're based out of lovely Sydney. So thank you for having me. I've enjoyed being in Singapore. So today I will be talking about the topic of semantic search. Now, semantic search is not new to internet marketing or the search world. Semantic search has been around for quite some time, and Yahoo and Bing have been basing their algorithms on semantic search for quite a few years. And why I'm bringing this topic up and why I've published a white paper on the topic is that at the end of last year, Google changed its algorithm. You may have heard the term hummingbird. I mean, Google have a lot of names, a lot of fancy sort of names based on animals and birds when it comes to their algorithm updates. And what happened with Hummingbird, it wasn't just an update of an algorithm. It was a complete overhaul. It was a complete game changer and a complete platform change in the world of internet marketing and organic search. And I'm quite passionate about the topic because I don't think the travel industry realises how important this was and some of the opportunities that it has raised to us collectively as an industry. So it's really, really exciting times for everybody. Here we go. So what happened and what is semantic search and why should we care about it? Well, semantic search is an algorithm and it uses true meaning, intent and context to identify and prioritise web pages and websites with relevant content. So when I'm talking about relevant content, we're talking about content that's relevant to the user, to the person sitting at their desk or in their lounge room on their couch, surfing and searching. So there's two aspects. So it's trying to find the most relevant pages, which is all about us, as whether or not we're B2C or B2B. And the other aspect is about the user. And so what it does is it draws on information about personal information collected on the user. So things like geographic location, previous search history, social media behaviour, shares, likes, all those types of things. So it's no longer, I guess, anymore about the sort of fairly predictable old SEO kind of keyword stuffed, lots of links to the page being presented. What the search engines are trying to do now is to really find out the true meaning and the true intent and context, if you like, of the user search. So largely we've gone from a system that could be very easily gamed through the operators with the deepest pockets, with link building, keywords stuffing, a whole sort of internet marketing force, SEO force, if you like, to something that kind of puts us all on fairly similar levels. So why is this important? It's really important because what appears on page 1 of Google or the search engines is going to be different for every single person. That's pretty serious stuff. That's a massive change in the world of internet marketing. So, in the olden days, and I'm talking about 6 to 12 months ago, pretty well you could be sure that the same sort of page 1 of Google would come up, because of the operators that had gamed their pages, if you like, with the links, with the keyword stuffing, with the content that was really geared to kind of being presented, if you like, rather than being geared to being really good quality content to the user. So things have really changed. And I guess we're no longer chasing the holy grail of page 1 of Google, which is really fundamental and quite serious. We're chasing consumers and users that potentially are really interested in what we have to say and do. So why should we care? Well, basically search is the one constant source that the traveller, whether they be business or leisure travellers, use on each stage of the path to purchase. Now, we heard a little bit about the path to purchase yesterday, so we're talking from the dreaming, the planning, the booking, anticipating when they're en route, when they're there, and when they're in destination. They're always using search in some capacity. So, you know, they're spending a lot of time planning their booking, they're spending a lot of time on search when they're in region or in destination and just looking for general information. Okay, so we've heard a little bit today about social media and the importance of social media. But the importance of social media, again, has just been catapulted with semantic search. So why is it so? Basically what happens now is social media activity helps the search engines understand and engage the true meaning behind the content of your website and your web pages. So what happens now is if you publish some content, for example, you might publish a blog piece or a video or a fabulous photo, you share it to your Twitter feed or your Facebook page. It then might be shared by one of your fans, shared again. There might be comments made about the content, likes, a whole range of activity. If your content is socially engageable and shareable and people like it, that tells the search engines that, hey, you guys have got something interesting to say. You must be an authority on your topic or on your destination or on your hotels. We can trust you. So if this engagement is happening with your brand and your website on a regular basis, then what happens is the search engines will increase your authority ranking, increase your trust, and therefore they're more likely to present your page when a user is sitting at their desk or in their lounge room searching for your specific hotel or a general search, for example, accommodation in Singapore or something like that. So it gives an assessment of contextual value, I guess, around your site. And the other thing it does is it tells the search engines how people talk about, how they relate to and how they engage with your content. So it's more important than ever. It's not just about likes and shares. It actually helps in your ranking. Sorry. Ooh. Okay. Semantic search has also increased the importance of mobile. The way we have performed our searches over time has changed. And again, it wasn't so long ago we were all sitting at our computers bent over typing in what is the weather going to be in Singapore today to find that out. But now what's happening is we ask our phone a question as we would ask our best friend. We don't tell it we're in Singapore. We don't tell it where we're at. We just say, okay, what's the weather today? And it knows where we are. So we're having conversations with our phones now. We're not just searching on our phone, we're having true conversations. And that's where semantic search comes into play as well. So, So what's happening now, there's products emerging from the search engines like Google now. Again, the search engines are collecting information on the user. So they know our search history, they know our interests, they know what we're talking about, that type of thing. Google Now is a mobile product where you can preload or preset information that follows you all around the world no matter where you are. So for example, I just had a look at my Google Now app. Has anybody got Google Now here in the room? It's a fairly new product, of course. So I've preloaded the types of things that I want on my phone back in Sydney. So I always want to know what the weather's going to be where I am. I always want to know about cafes, sort of nice funky cafes with 5-star ratings, with free Wi-Fi. I want to have access to the regular websites that I look at. There's a whole range of things that I like to know wherever I am. It also shows me the time it is at home. So if I want to ring my husband and the kids, I can just look at Google Now wherever I am in the world, and it will tell me all that information that I have preloaded. So it follows me because it knows about my preferences. It knows what I like to search for. It knows the types of things that I'm interested in. So I guess, you know, a lot of people say, well, what does this mean to me? What does this mean to my business? The tactical implications of semantic search in a nutshell. Okay, this is what an SEO checklist used to look like. Again, in the olden days, a good 6 months ago, for example. It's changing so fast, isn't it? I don't know how we all keep up with it. But, you know, we pretty well have our little checklist. You know, what are our keywords? Where do we place them? What's our link structure like? How many inbound links have we got coming in? Have we got enough? We've got links to other pages in the site. You know, what's our domain name? Our hosting, is it hosted in the right country? All these things that we could pretty well tick off. Are we all guilty of this? I can see some nods. Yes, this is what we were doing. Even I was doing this. It's all changed now. Some of this stuff is still really important, but one of the things about this is it was so easily gamed. So the best content was not necessarily being presented to the user, and everything should be central to the user experience. So that's what it used to look like. And this is what it now looks like. It's far more complex, and guys, I'm sorry to say we have to work a little bit harder now. We have to truly shift our mindset and create amazing content going to connect with our potential customers and our current customers. So there's two main aspects, as I've mentioned. There's the searcher. So there's a whole range of things, the conversational context, the preferences, what I look up on YouTube, where I am at that particular time, combined with where I normally live, for example, social connections, the types of conversations I'm having. And the other aspect is the publisher. Now, the publisher, we all have to consider ourselves now as publishers. We're no longer internet marketers. We have to be publishers of content, because that's how we are going to be found. We've got to start to language of publishing, Google authorship, social media conversations, engagement, you know, verify our listings, and also start linking our web content across the web so that the search engines know that any activity that we're doing with regards to our web presence comes from our company. So it's really time to be streamlined instead of fragmented. So how do we connect our businesses to the consumer in the world of semantic search? As I mentioned, a little bit of work to do if you're not already doing this. So on the right-hand side, we've got the potential search query, where, as I've mentioned several times, we look at the, you know, the preferences and the social media activity, and these are only a couple of things that are. It's a very complex thing. So there's several entities working together to pull the pages together, if you like. As businesses and destinations, we have to start creating compelling content that really resonates with our potential customers. So no sort of bland web pages with just your basic features and benefits, which I see a lot of in the industry, specifically a lot of hotels. We need to start creating stories that connect with the consumer, create compelling content, words, blog pieces, interesting posts. So don't just post and run, but tell the story through your posts, connect. How am I, as a customer, see myself at your property, for example? I need to be able to consider myself there. We need to start creating interesting videos that connect with the consumer, beautiful images. We need to start creating shareable, interesting content that our potential customers can start engaging in. That's where we're at. We need to work on getting quality and legitimate inbound links. So no more paying dodgy SEO companies to come in and give you or build your links, because that will actually be damaging to your brand and to your company and to your ranking. So naturally occurring links on websites that are perhaps related to your website. We need to start talking natural language. So again, no more keyword stuffing, just talk naturally. Clear, distinct branding. So be certain on who you are and what your brand is. So don't try and be everything to everybody. Now, Stephen's not here, but he was talking about the bland accountant. It's okay to talk to and be a bland accountant, but be consistently bland. Don't try and be exciting one day and bland the next. Just be consistently bland and boring if that's what you want to be. If you're going to be exciting, be exciting. But it's really time to have some clarity around who you're talking to, your personas and your brand. So you can't dabble or experiment. And be clear by defining who you are, it will help the search engines also get some clarity around your brand and your business. One of the things that we do in our own company, and because this is all fairly new, we kind of experiment with ourselves a little bit. So we've been churning out a variety of different content. We do our blog posts, we do our videos, we do webinars, we post on social media. Not so much Facebook anymore because of the recent changes there. I've started grasping Google+. Is anyone here on Google+? I love Google+. I'm completely addicted to Google+. And I've found an amazing community on Google+. So the wonderful thing about being active on Google+ is you're being a friend of Google. And if you are a friend of Google, that can only be a good thing. So, ooh. Did I say something wrong about Google? Sorry. That's a bit spooky, isn't it? So, okay. Is that okay, tech guys? I'm cursed. I promise I'm a friend of Google. Thank you.
Did you say I love Google?
Oh. That's very spooky. So anyway, we published this white paper, and we've tweeted it as well. It's freely available, doesn't cost anything. So if you go to the hashtag, the TDS hashtag, you can download the white paper. And what happened over the next few days was really, really exciting for me. So I posted up. It was actually reshared by David Amland, who is the absolute authority on semantic search. It was reshared. He commented on it, and as a consequence, lots of people talked about it and shared it. Unfortunately, not too many people in the travel industry, but lots of people who were excited about semantic search. And what happened then was that our search ranking skyrocketed. All of a sudden, we were sort of at the top of the game for tourism research, travel research. So again, it was a little bit of an experiment, but it worked for us. It was fantastic because we were consistent in our messages, consistent in what we talk about, and trying to engage and really promote conversations around social media. So I guess the key takeout here is that the content is so important now in the role of content has been catapulted, if you like, in the world of semantic search. So we, I guess, as travel and tourism experts, really have the potential. We're almost at ground zero, if you like. No one's really grasping this and giving it a big hug yet. We're kind of still in the old world of SEO. But, you know, if you guys get onto this now and start creating content marketing strategies and tactical campaigns around semantic search, you've got the potential to be one step ahead of your competitors. I don't see anyone really doing this in a great way yet. So just trying to link all of this stuff together, and this is a massive topic to talk in, you know, 20 minutes. There's so much more to it. So we've gone from old school SEO with keywords, you know, link dumping and, oh my God, my blog piece, it's got to be minimum 500 words, that type of thing. Now we're going to talking about search queries. Content, engagement, intent, trust, authority. We're trying to create and influence. So there's a whole different lexicon we have to start using. Comments, social proof. We need to create our personas so we can be consistent in who we're talking to. Branding becomes really important, who we are. So how do we do this? As I've mentioned before, link all of your online activities and your online presence to your business. That's a great place to start so that we can tell the search engines that what you're doing is all about me. Be mobile optimised. Compelling content. Ensure a variety of output. So, you know, by creating images, videos, blog pieces, nicely crafted blog posts, Facebook posts. So even if you don't have a big, massive, you know, time to do a big, massive blog piece, ensure that you're writing and using the consistent language in all of your social media posts. So there's still, you know, you should have a couple of minutes in the day to still do that. And social media signals. Work on creating your social media signals every day. And that's pretty well it too. So that's it. Semantic search in 2 seconds or less. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Any questions?
Questions for Bronwyn?
Do I have time for questions?
I got 5 more minutes. Okay, no. So I have questions for you,
Sure.
Bronwyn. So this semantic search technology or this trend, it has been in the market, or people are talking about this particular aspect. Semantic search is the next big thing. The talk is there for at least 3 to 4 years of time in the industry. I know of very, very less number of companies who have adopted this semantic search, meaning they've replaced the drop-down text field. So there is no more key. There is no more button clicks, etc. It's just like customers can go talk type like a free, as if they're talking to a brand.
Yep.
But why the biggies, the XP Baseline, the Kayak? So why they have not implemented semantic search? Why it still has not picked up steam?
Look, what happened with some of those big companies when Hummingbird came into play, sort of at the end of last year, was a shame, because I'll be really honest, everybody was doing this sort of stuff. It wasn't exclusive to them. And I guess I think, well, my analysis is that they lost control. Being a global brand, I think they had a lot of local agencies in different countries doing different things for them. I guess, yeah, a lot of control was lost. What was happening is there was a lot of links being built on sites that were not related to travel, and that will get anyone who does this link building practice into trouble quite easily and very quickly. So I guess that's what happened to them. But semantic search wasn't really a priority until the end of last year when Google came into play, because they're 67% of the search market in the US.
Right.
So all of a sudden it's important. We need to take notice. So, we're all there now.
Okay. And the next question I wanted to ask about, it's about Google. So Google, to me, Google is still a keyword matching search engine. So if we type, say, hotels in Singapore, it crawls the pages that it has indexed, matches the words hotel Singapore, and it could be the results that is thrown out on the first page of search result. A lot of times I felt it irrelevant, meaning it will just show me Agoda ads or OTA ads, but if I look for things to do in Singapore, I would get something else. And a lot of times, to me, the front page search result were not relevant. It was pure just keyword matching. Whereas I know of site where I can actually go find the content for the question what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But those are, I found out all those in the testing process. But do you think Google is broken for a travel industry?
No, not at all. I think
do the world need a better travel industry related search engine, but not Google?
I think you go where the market is, and again, most people use Google, and that's where it's at. Now, to answer the thing about the keywords, Google AdWords, that hasn't really changed. What's happening there? Right. It's still the same. So all of this relates to organic search. So, we have to be sensible. If you're a hotel in Singapore, you need to sort of have somewhere in your content, hotel in Singapore. True. Because, you have to sort of say what you are as well.
Yeah, that is true. That is a very plain
it's a keyword,
and a straightforward search. But for a complex search queries, most of the times I get irrelevant results, and the most well-known brands come up in the first page. Yeah. But the brands that actually have the answers, it could be just a content search. It goes to the second, fourth page, fifth page, sixth page, etc., which I have to manually go click. Yeah. So I'm just wondering, is Google not meant as a travel search engine?
No, I think it really is. And again, they're in the very early stages.
Yeah, that's true.
And I actually do get quite a few crazy search results at times because I travel, and probably because you travel a lot. I'll be in a town, and it happened to me a couple of months ago. I was in the there's a wine region out of Melbourne, the Yarra Valley, and I typed into my phone wineries that are open now. And so it presented information about mostly wineries in the Yarra Valley, but also in the Hunter Valley, which was 1,000 kilometres away, closer to where I normally live. Right. So there's teething problems, but as it gathers more information on you and your preferences, your interests, if you like boutique hotels rather than big chains, theoretically it will present the boutique hotel over the chain, provided the boutique hotel has the content.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Sure. Great, thank you. Thanks,
Thank
Bronwyn.
you. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.